How many times have I told y'all about dating these damn thugs, right? Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all been watching the AFC at any point in time, I've been trying to tell you hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. What that means is that it's a risky thing to do, especially when you got kids. I keep presenting y'all example after example after example. We have to start doing better when it comes to who we bring our children around. Now, don't call this man a thug because of his skin color. That is because of his behavior. But before we get into the details, let me give you a disclaimer about my content. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And we are getting this story from lawandcrime.com. Why? Because that is my favorite source for news. So thank you and shout out to lawandcrime.com. You guys look at these angels on my screen right here, especially those babies. When it comes to the parents, I'm not so sentimental towards the parents, but I am sentimental, especially what happens to these babies, because all they can do is just deal with whatever the hell goes on with mom. Let me tell you what happened to mom. In North Carolina, they've released gruesome details about the deaths of a mother and her two young who were missing for nearly 2 weeks, and they were found to be murdered. So imagine what that was like, walking into a scene like that. That's why I feel so bad for these investigators, these coroners. Can y'all imagine what they have to see every single day, and then you want them to act normal? I just could not imagine. Just pray for their souls, because this has got to be terrible to have to find people in this condition, especially our little babies. The fool by the name of Benjamin Joseph Taylor, who was mom's boyfriend, let me see if I can get his stupid face up on the screen. This guy right here, 34 years old, is charged with not one, not two, but 3 counts of murder and 1 count of concealment of death. He is accused of killing 22-year-old Markayla Johnson, who was the mother. And I want y'all to do the math for me. Keep in mind, mother's 22. 22 years old. Okay? Don't get mad. I'm just going to speak the truth. So shout out to my ladies who understand I'm speaking to y'all like this because I love you and I want y'all to do better. All ladies. Markayla Johnson is 22 years old. She has a 4-year-old that was named Miracle Johnson. Do the math. And a 7-month-old by the name of Messiah Johnson. I want y'all to understand that her boyfriend's name was Benjamin Joseph Taylor. Let's unpack that right there. First and foremost, 21, 20, 19, 18, got pregnant at 17 years old. One thing I can guarantee you is that she couldn't even properly wipe her own behind at age 17, let alone know how to be a parent at age 17. I have a daughter who was age 17 right about now. And I'm telling you, there's no way in the world I would want my daughter pregnant, nor would I would make sure that she has the knowledge and understanding that what her actions could lead to when it comes to at some point becoming sexually active, right? So this scares me as a father watching what these women go through. So I'm not a newscaster. Don't get mad about how I would just get on with the story. No, I'm talking about this because I'm a concerned dad. I'm tired of seeing our black women go through this stupid crap. Everybody understand? That's my perspective. That's where I'm coming from. So no way in the world she should have been sexually active. And even if I'm assuming it was by choice, because if it wasn't by choice, then that's a whole different other thing, that RAPE word, that you have to get taken care of with the police and file a police report and all of that stuff. So I'm assuming that is not what happened. I'm assuming this was consensual. Then you turn around and have a 7-month-old, yes? What does that mean? That means your child can't walk, can't talk, and has no way of being able to protect themselves, provide for themselves, can't feed themselves, can't change themselves at 7 months old, and you've already got a new boyfriend. That's her mother crying. She's sad. I get it. But I'm roughly probably about that woman's age. So the sympathy I have is only goes so far. Because at the end of the day, I believe that if you're a parent, you have to put the onus on your children to say you cannot put your children in bad spots when you are a parent. If you have two children at the freaking age of 22 years old, the last thing you should be doing is worrying about penis. Attractive, good talking, he got money, he got a big thing in his pants, should be the last thing on your mind when you are 22 years old and probably can't even properly take care of yourself. Don't tell me that this woman was financially set at 22 years old, huh? No. What happens is that when these people end up having children, they use these children, they get Section 8 food stamps, housing, subsidized, child support, lots of things like that that are able to take care of the brunt force of what you have to take care of as far as a normal adult. Normal adult has to take care of all those bills without no freaking help. I know a lot of married couples out there that will tell you, we don't get no help, right? Two people in the household got income, can barely keep up with all of their bills. But yet our country is financially trying to support people who just keep having kids and stay on the system. That is a fact. Don't get mad about what I said. The mother and her two children were reported missing on March 3rd when she stopped communicating with her family. Her family saw her family last saw them January 20th in the area of the 400 block of Orchard Trace Lane in Charlotte. Family and detectives with the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department on March 5th knocked on Johnson's door, but nobody answered. A maintenance employee told detectives he opened the door with the master key, but the door was stopped by a security chain. No one responded when he called, he said. On March the 6th, detectives obtained surveillance video that showed Taylor leaving the state on a bus, an affidavit said. Police issued a missing persons alert to the public on March the 8th, so 2 days later. Officers obtained a search warrant for Johnson's apartment on March 16th. When they went inside, they found Johnson's body located in a plastic container with cords around her. This is who she fell in love with. We're going to talk about him as being a thug. Then we're going to talk about that GoFundMe. Oh, we'll get back to that GoFundMe. Matter of fact, y'all need to take a look at this GoFundMe. I want y'all to see the asinine amount of this GoFundMe. Can we take a pause for the cause, AFC? We're live. Y'all tell me if y'all can see that on my screen. I'm going to read some more of this. They found Johnson's body located in a plastic container with cords around her. Detectives also located multiple used air fresheners and candles. Oh my God, he was probably trying to kill the smell. Lord have mercy. Multiple fans were turned on and the AC unit was turned down to approximately 62 degrees. He was trying to keep the smell down. The next day, on March 16th, when y'all see the number, I need y'all to type the number in the chat when y'all see it, please. Type the number that GoFundMe if y'all can see it in the top right-hand corner. The next day, on March 16th, police then searched Taylor's car. In the trunk, they found Miracle and Messiah, the two children, in plastic bags within travel bags, the affidavit said. Miracle's wrists were bound and had diapers around her face and head. Oh my God. According to investigators, officials have not yet released the cause of death. Do we even need to know? $100,000 GoFundMe. For what? $100,000. Go to this GoFundMe. You guys will see that they typed in the description box what they're asking for the $100,000 for. In my opinion, if you're going to ask for $100,000, you need to be really freaking specific. They were not specific. And I'm going to tell you guys this, at least for 2 of these dead individuals, the cost of those funerals are going to be covered by the state because this is a criminal investigation and these are probably going to be deemed homicide murders. That's the way it works in most states. Most states have funding set up to cover the cost of the burial. So are you trying to tell me that the mother, to bury her, it's going to cost $100,000? Really? Somebody named of Markeisha Johnson is the organizer. Maybe y'all can message her and ask her specifically what the plan is for $100,000. If 2 of those burials should be covered. Taylor and Johnson were in a quote-unquote relationship, but Taylor is not the father of either of the children. Don't y'all think that 7 months old, not 7 years old, because I think that might be a little young. 7 months old is a little bit too young for a woman who's barely 22 years old to be dating a new person. You can't even properly take care of your oldest child, let alone this brand new baby that you just had. So then you'd have to ask yourself, what the hell happened to the youngest kid's dad? Where is he at? In less than 2 years, why is he not already actively a father, or y'all married, living together, trying to make a relationship work in less than 24 months of you having this kid? Now, let's talk about why they denied bond for Mr. Benjamin Taylor outside the fact that he is allegedly the murderer of 3 people. Police arrested Taylor on March the 18th in California near the U.S.-Mexico border, so he ran. That might be a good reason for him to not have a bond. It's not clear how police tracked Taylor to California, but a press release thanked the Imperial County Sheriff's Office and the FBI field office there. Taylor was taken into the Imperial County Jail and extradited back to North Carolina last week. So he's currently at the Mecklenburg County Jail without bond. Johnson's family is obviously devastated by the deaths of her and her children. He needs to know that she was loved and so were her kids, Tabby Holiday told the ABC affiliate WSOC. She was very much well. He wanted to just take her away from all of us. The family wants Johnson to receive the harshest penalty under law, which is probably the death penalty. We want a definite death penalty, she said. Here's what y'all need to know, because I saw this in another news article. The reason why I call him a thug is not not post him causing these murders. Prior to this, he has a long criminal history. He is no stranger to the law. That is why I call him a thug, and that's why I said a mother dated a thug. And when you date thugs, you date death. That's the way it works. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Yeah, we'll talk about that GoFundMe again here in just a second. That's quite a bit large, but again, that's why I call him a thug based on his actions. And not only should the mother have done a background check and understand who she's bringing around her children, because it's not just her. If you're not going to do a background check, if you feel like that's too much work, then maybe you should not be dating anybody. Your priority should be working and protecting those children. That is it. and maybe forging a relationship with your children's father, who should be taking up the other half of that responsibility. That should be it. Sex is what got her into this mess. Y'all do me a favor and leave a comment in the comment section. I know y'all gonna get mad, but let me know what you think. A couple of news videos. Let's get it.
Good noon. The man accused of killing a woman and her 2 young children just faced a judge in Mecklenburg County. We have Benjamin Taylor's newest mugshot. He was extradited to North.
Right now at 4, the man accused of killing a mom and her 2 young kids is waiting to be brought back to North Carolina after being arrested in California. Police say Benjamin Taylor murdered 22-year-old Markayla Johnson, her 4-year-old daughter, Miracle, and 7-month-old son, Messiah. Queen City News reporter Daniel Pierce, live at CMPD headquarters right now. Daniel, we know that this suspect is no stranger to the law, and we're still waiting for police to give us some more information.
Yeah, in fact, on Saturday, police said that they were hoping to have the medical examiner's report released on Monday. We've reached out to them a couple times today to try and get any sort of insight or further information on this case. We are still waiting to hear back from them and hear back what the medical examiner report has found. I have, though, been in touch with reporters in that Southern California area where Taylor was picked up. They described the area as being remote, essentially the middle of nowhere, and they also described it as being near the Mexico border. Taylor is being accused, and the reason he was being arrested is for allegedly murdering Markayla and her 2 children, 4-year-old Miracle and 7-month-old Messiah. All 3 were reported missing in early March, about 2 weeks ago. Police on Saturday told us that they exhausted all avenues and leads and carried out a search warrant at the Orchard Trace condominiums in North Charlotte on Friday. This is where Markayla lived, we are told. All 3 were found dead. Authorities won't say where everyone was found. All they said is that they were found on property. Authorities also are still trying to answer the big question as to why this happened.
I don't want to speculate as to the reasoning behind any of these murders. It's too early to tell, and those are some things that that he might be the only one that can answer those questions for us.
We're still working to get a timeline on what extradition will look like and when the indictment papers will be handed to them, so that way they can be filed with the court system. We are still trying to figure all that information out and also trying to figure out if police have had a chance to actually talk with Taylor. Live in Midtown, Daniel Pierce, Queen City News.
And hopefully we get a lot more answers here soon. Daniel, thanks.
All right, let's go to our next video here. Hopefully they'll let us know as to what his actual criminal history is. Because like I said, I've read it, I know it, but yeah.
Well, right now, the boyfriend of a woman reported missing earlier this month is awaiting extradition from California. Police say he killed her and her 2 children in Northwest Charlotte and then left town.
CMPD says 35-year-old Benjamin Taylor faces 3 counts of murder and 1 charge of concealment of death. This comes just days after the bodies of Markayla Johnson and her children, Miracle and Messiah, were found in an apartment complex in Charlotte.
And WCNC Charlotte's Kaylin Hagwood has been looking into this case all day and joins us live from CMPD headquarters. Kaylin, shine some light on the suspect's background for us tonight.
Yeah, well, public records show Taylor has had dozens of run-ins with the law, including charges for kidnapping, assault, as well as violating a domestic violence protective order. As he awaits extradition, the advocates do say that there are some signs to look for to see if your partner may have violent tendencies. The man accused of murdering a missing woman and her 2 kids now behind bars after police say he killed them, then took off to California.
She was a good person, and everybody knows Kaylin would do anything for you. She didn't deserve this.
35-year-old Benjamin Taylor now awaits extradition after the bodies of Markayla Johnson and her kids, Miracle and Messiah, were found Friday in a Charlotte apartment.
I miss my baby. I miss my grandkids.
Police say Taylor and Johnson were in a relationship before the killings took place.
Look these people up on the public index that is available. You can see if a person has had charges in the past.
Advocates say it's important to watch for signs the relationship could be unhealthy and reach out for help.
If I get you away from your entire support system, who are you leaning on? me. And so it's important for an abuser that they do that.
There is help available if you or someone you know is experiencing abuse. There's a
That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this thing. As I'm talking about not to get involved with people like this. When we talk about the Thug Zoo and Thug Lions, I'm asking, matter of fact, here's what I'm so curious about. I thought about this earlier. I'm just curious, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong for saying this or not. So I'm looking to the camera and I'm asking you guys a question. I like alligators. I go out and go get an alligator, and I bring an alligator into my apartment, and I put this alligator into my bathtub, and next thing you know, after about a year or two, the alligator gets really big, and I don't know what the time frame is for alligators. I don't know, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. Next thing you know, you look up and I got a 700-pound alligator in my apartment. This thing is tearing up my apartment, and one day I go in there to try to go scold this alligator, like, you stop tearing up my apartment, Mr. Alligator. Next thing you know, that alligator turns around and bites my motherfucking head off and leaves a bloody scene. I'm just curious, how many of you guys out there would feel bad for me knowing that I went and got an alligator that should not be in a house, that should not be in an apartment, and should not be domesticated? Would y'all feel bad if that alligator came and killed DJ Just J? Right? No, you would not feel bad for me if I lost a limb, lost a leg, or lost my life. Because you know what you guys would say? Why the hell would you bring an alligator in your house? And it's the same thing that I wonder with these stories. Like, if you have these thugs, if you're a young person, if you got multiple kids, you have all of these responsibilities, why do you continue to keep taking time away? Oh, let me say this real slow. Ooh. Why would a person who is a custodial parent continue to take time away from their children to date? Especially when your children are an early age. I think that's a fair question. The more that this woman continues to date, the more that she's going to have to neglect her children in some capacity. Because one thing that I can tell you about this fool, he didn't want to be a father. He didn't care about them kids. He doesn't have a soul. And y'all wonder why he was in a tent? It's because he ran and he was actually trying to hide out, and they just ended up catching up with him. They don't want to tell us how they found him because they probably had some type of special technique. I don't even want to elaborate on that. But they found him, and I'm glad they found him. And yes, I believe that he should get the DP under law. He should absolutely get the harshest penalty under law. He's not a man. He's a fool, and he never deserved to be with any woman at all. The same as I should not have an alligator in the place where I lay my head down at, right? It's just not a smart thing. Especially when you have young children. We got to do better and start thinking about our children first. That's all I'm saying.
The man accused in the Charlotte killings of a woman and her 2 young children is in a California jail tonight. Benjamin Taylor is now facing charges including murder and concealment of death. Thanks for joining us tonight for your news at 10. I'm Alicia Barnes.
And I'm Brian Blakely. Investigators caught Benjamin Taylor in California. Taylor is now waiting to be extradited to North Carolina. Queen City News reporter Daniel Pierce looks deeper into this horrific case and Taylor's past.
Court documents show close to a dozen restraining orders were filed involving Benjamin Taylor. Some filed by him, others against him. We are also learning that no 50Bs were filed by Markayla Johnson or her family before he allegedly killed her.
It's a scary thought to think that we have people like that are in our streets and preying upon our citizens.
Words to reflect on from Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Chief Johnny Jennings Saturday. Said with the background of painful cries for a family taken too young.
Who was to say a man that she think that she loved was going to kill her? And the kids.
Markayla Johnson's family filed a missing persons report on March 3rd for her and her 2 children, 4-year-old Miracle and 7-month-old Messiah.
There was a potential that some sort of criminal activity had occurred.
CMPD didn't say if they first searched 405 Orchard Trace Lane, where they say Markayla lived. On March 15th, however, they were there and found the remains of not just mother, but her children. Benjamin Taylor, however, nowhere to be found.
The person that we are looking for is within the state of North Carolina and South Carolina.
Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all want to see the video where they actually tracked him down and arrested him? Do y'all want to see that? It looks insane. Like, this man looked like he didn't just commit almost mass murder. He is a complete monster. Thank you. Yes, he is. Y'all want to see that? I think I can skip to it.
Instead, just hours after this news conference on Saturday, he was arrested by FBI agents and local deputies more than 20.
Look how far he traveled. Good Lord. That's literally completely across the country.
2,300 miles away in Imperial County, California, near the Mexico border. Back in Charlotte, Queen City news cameras captured CSI investigators inside the apartment, taking photos and even removing a vehicle believed to belong to the 22-year-old mother.
He was never a violent person. People took advantage of her because she was so kind-hearted.
Taylor went before a California judge on Monday. We are told that the Imperial County District Attorney...
Let me see if I can find it. Let's see here.
All right, now, video you'll see only on WBTV this afternoon. The moments police in California find Ben 12 days later. The next day, police in California, it's beaming. Here you can see
that's
that
some
video
of it. Let me show you the next one. Here it is.
Benjamin Taylor, we have a warrant for your arrest. Come out with your hands up. Bang out. Taylor, it's the sheriff's office. Come out with your hands up. Taylor, if you're inside the blue tent, come out with your hands up. It's the sheriff's office.
Hopefully you guys can hear that. Just want to make sure you guys can hear this.
It's got a zipper. It's right there. Now! Come out!
Do not.
Come out. Crawl.
Do not reach for
Start
anything.
crawling.
You get your hands out from under your waist.
You got cuffs?
Here.
Why didn't you come out? Why didn't you come out?
Oh, you heard us. What's up?
Tell me what that is.
I was coming. You weren't coming. I was coming. No, you weren't. Yes, I was. Roll over. Roll over.
You got anything on you that we need to know about?
No. Put your knees up.
All right, knees up. Let's go.
Come on.
Sit up.
Go.
Copy 1 to 10, flip 4.
Let's flip flop. Stand still. Don't move. Sarge, you gonna take him to flip flop?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna double.
All right. All right. Put your sandals on.
Secure.
Where's your ID at? Your personal belongings.
First at noon, Queen City News is learning new details in a case involving the murder.
Warrant Grace Lane on drugs and caring for the children with
other side of the country, California, to bring this. The scene of the crime. Taylor was arrested. Now in video you'll see only on WBTV, we show you that arrest, which brought multiple agencies to a remote area in Southern California to bring this murder suspect to justice.
Benjamin Taylor, we have a warrant for your arrest. Come out with your hands up!
Newly released video from the Imperial County Sheriff's Office shows the moment an accused killer was taken into custody, 2,200 miles away from the scene of the crime. Deputies rip open a blue tent in a desolate area of Imperial County, California, not far from the Mexico border. Guns drawn, flashlights beaming. Inside the tent,
Move, let's go. Start crawling towards us.
Is Benjamin Taylor, the man accused of killing his girlfriend Markayla Johnson and her 2 young children, 4-year-old Miracle and 7-month-old Messiah.
I miss my baby. I miss my grandkids. She was a good person.
Initially reported missing in early March, investigators said then they didn't believe the Johnsons were in any danger.
Yeah, I think we could stop it right there. Yeah, he actually pretended to be asleep. Like I don't know why y'all are here. Just that's got to be the wildest thing, knowing that you literally just committed triple homicide, triple murder. It makes me believe that maybe this wasn't his first time doing something like this, depending on what his actual history is compared to what you can look up and find online, because that could be 2 different things compared to what he actually done in life, which he probably will never admit, compared to what you see on record. But one thing that you do know is that you could have found out that he was a criminal before you started dating him. People like this should never have an opportunity to date. Now, why do people like this in our community continue to keep getting boyfriends and keep getting access to children? But it's so many times that biological fathers have to fight the mothers just to see their children. Fight tooth and nail, got to go to court, got to hire attorneys. Can't just call the mom and say, hey, I want to see the kid. Well, no, because of such and such. But some random dude off the street can see your kids more than you can. I'm not saying that's what was the case here, but what I'm saying is, in general, I don't get why we fight biological fathers so hard. But these boyfriends who are not proven to be good fathers, good parents, good mates, good anything, get this level of access to your children. He should have never met her children. If she was going to call herself dating, then leave your children. He said he's got them crazy eyes. Let's go back and look at it. I would have to agree with you. Look at that. After he's been arrested, he just looked like, what y'all bothering me for? And on top of that, to make it even more disturbing, the fact that they have a $100,000 GoFundMe. And I'm telling you guys that I believe, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, go do your research, because I've done my research already. I believe that 2 of these children are going to be covered by the state, because this is going to be deemed a homicide or murder, and they're going to cover that in their funding to cover their burial. The only one that they won't be able to cover is probably going to be the mother, because she's an adult. So then you'd have to ask, what the hell are they asking for $100,000 for? Now, here's what I want y'all to understand. I would have a problem if they put up a GoFundMe to the tune. Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, okay, so clearly y'all didn't see the GoFundMe. Let me put it up again. Let me put it up, because you might not have seen it. Yes, they are asking for $100,000 GoFundMe. Like they said in the movie, what was it, Trading Places? No. What was Trading Places? That was Coming to America. Why not just go for a cool $1 million? If you're gonna ask for $100,000, which I don't think is you can prove a reason to collect that amount, might as well ask for $1 million. I wouldn't have a problem if they put up a GoFundMe to the tune of $5,000 to $10,000 for this untimely death, which the mother at 22 years old should have had life insurance. So I'm assuming that she don't have life insurance, which actually would have covered all 3 of them, because the babies would have been covered by the state and the mom would have been covered by her own policy, but nobody has life insurance. Nobody thinks to have life insurance ever, right? So you would have to ask, what is the $100,000 supposed to cover? I don't mind if you ask for 10 and then people donate up to $100,000. Then you get no argument out of me. But I think it's flat out ridiculous for you to ask for that amount. Just go for the gusto and then just, waiting on people's heartstrings to be plucked. I just think that's wrong. It's morally wrong, and people got to stop doing that. It's ridiculous. I hope that this man gets a life sentence. triple life sentence. And if they have the death penalty in North Carolina, then we'll just see what happens. We'll give you guys an update on the final sentencing there. But I think he absolutely deserves it. Keep the family in your prayer. Keep these young women in your prayers. If y'all have children, if y'all are like my age, children like her age, I know she's 22 years old. She's a grown adult. But all in all, she's still a young mother, a young woman to me. R.I.P. to the family for their losses. That's truly, truly sad. You have got to stop dating people like this, because when you date thugs, you date death. Pass my message along. That's the AFC podcast, when we advocate for children first. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this story, okay? Thank you.